Hey there, I'm Ben. Casper Glow Review, 2 years in. Or the problem with Casper and how to fix it. Or
Harry Potter and the manufacturing defect.
there's something really important that you should know about these lamps. There is a serious design flaw, and Casper doesn't appear to be addressing it. I do have a couple of solutions and some more review-related thoughts, so let's jump into it. Over 2 years ago, I reviewed the Casper Glow Light, and I gave it a good review. The product is durable, it's fun to use, and it's a wonderful addition to any home lighting setup. It's very much icing on the cake. But something has happened which makes this product a lot worse. Something which honestly I should have talked about sooner. It's the charging base. After I finished my reviews, about 18 months into owning these, one of the base stations cratered. Just stopped charging my glow lights, which is not a problem, of course. My partner John emailed Casper, and in about a month, they sent us a new base station for free. Problem solved, right? Wrong. Because every charging base that I've gotten from Casper since then has had the same problem. After about a year of use, the base station dies, and I have to get a new one. Now, thankfully, Casper has never charged me for this. New base stations cost about 35 USD. But most recently, they did say that since they've already replaced it, they would have to charge for the next time. Now, obviously, the first solution is to just buy another charging base, which I don't love because it's just going to perpetuate the problem. Second solution is to beg Casper to fix it because it is probably almost certainly a manufacturing error. Third solution is to DIY it. And before you run away screaming, I promise it's not actually as hard as it sounds. As it turns out, these devices are actually quite simple. So here's how to fix it. I've torn down the charging base, and it would appear that Casper is actually changing the designs of these slightly, which is odd because they still haven't fixed the one really important issue. But don't worry, they made the circuit board a little bit smaller. Obviously, I can't officially recommend that anyone do this, mostly because I don't want to get sued. But for entertainment purposes only, I'm going to show you how I fixed mine. And before you do anything else, you're going to unplug your charging base. Step 1, first of all, you need to peel off the sticky backing. This is actually pretty easy to do with your hands if you have any fingernails, and if you do it slowly, you can have it off in under 5 minutes. Step 2, you need to take a very small screwdriver and undo the screws holding the base plate on. Turns out these devices have a very pleasant weight to them because they just put a very heavy piece of metal in the bottom. Step 3, now you need to clip off the little plastic fasteners. I know this seems irreversible, and it is, but don't worry, you don't really need them anyway. Step 4, now take your wire cutters and cut away the support structure for the charging prongs. I know this probably seems a little crazy, but I've tested it and mine's been fixed and going strong for several weeks now. You're also going to want to remove the cushioning foam, assuming you were to do any of this, which I don't recommend. Once you've chipped away at it enough, you may want to take some of that cushioning foam and put it on the back of the chip so it pushes the prongs further up. You might need to add some paper, but I was able to fix mine using just the foam that was already in the base housing. Once you've got the prongs sticking out far enough, you're ready to glow. Go! It just slipped out. Anyway, your lovely Casper glow lights should work for forever, or at least until some other part of them breaks. Although it is worth noting that in the 3 years that I've had them, no other part of this device has ever broken on me. I'll talk more about durability in a second, but this fix should cost you about $25. It should take about an hour to do, and shit, you may already have these tools at home anyway, making this even cheaper. Either way, given that a pair of these currently costs $224 USD, I feel like it's worth it. Bonus points because you're not creating more e-waste. Going back to reviewing for a second, there are a couple of things that I didn't get to say in my first and second video, so let's talk about durability. What's surprising to me is how much more durable the light is than the base. I've dropped these things almost 2 meters to the ground, and what was I doing with my glow lights 2 meters in the air? That's none of your business. They're really tough and extremely well designed, and after all that trauma, there's just a few minor scuffs and scratches that are actually not really that noticeable even when the light is turned on. Sadly, the prongs on the base which charge the light are spring-loaded, and for some reason, every single base I've owned up until now, I think we're at 4 now, has always had the spring blow in one of the prongs. Smart home integration. There really is none in this. There is no smart home integration at all, which is frustrating because it does have an app, and I'm thankful for how well the app and the software have continued to work. That said, it's kind of criminal that I can't control these with my Google Home or any external smart home software, especially since this device has a really nice sunset feature. So as you're getting ready for bed, you can kind of have the lights slowly dimming and being able to just say to my smart speaker, hey, I'd like to begin my wind down period or whatever. Sadly, much like Apple, Casper does not play well with others, and that makes the product worse for the record. Lastly, is Casper doing anything about this? I did actually check the Casper website to see if their support search engine has anything to address this, and honestly, most of it relates to mattresses and pillows, which is understandable given that's their main stock in trade. I couldn't really find any helpful information on broken charging bases. Given that this seems to be a very consistent problem, I'm kind of shocked that they haven't addressed the issue publicly. There's also the chance that I have just been wildly unlucky. That said, I have found a number of Reddit posts as well as someone who commented on my original video twice because they were so bothered by the fact that these bases just broke. I'll tag them below. My guess is that people with $200 to blow on a nightlight aren't really worried about buying a new stand or just throwing these out. I have a hunch that this is a wider spread issue, but that many people aren't talking about it because it's just a nightlight. That said, consumers and the environment deserve long-lasting products. If you had this issue, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, which, you know, are below the like button and the subscribe button. Okay, thanks so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. My name is Ben, this is BRBTG, and as always, I'll be right back.